Hello, dear friends. So we have a meeting with Alexander Hakimov. Questions and answers. Please kindly share with us how to develop this taste for Nama Sankirtan. Oh, that's a good question. It is being presented differently in different places. There could be a big group of devotees divided into 4 parts like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did. And there is also Brihad Mridanga, the movement of distribution of knowledge, utilizing all the available means and tools, just following Bhaktivinoda Thakur and previous acharyas. It would lead us to Yukta Vairagya, the highest method of renunciation. Yukta Vairagya. Everything we have, everything we invent in this world should be utilized for the service of Lord Krishna. Thus, Sankirtana is being manifested in different forms. Everything we use in order to distribute the knowledge, the philosophy, and everything, all this means are there just to engage people to chant holy names in order to get this transcendental taste. Once you have this taste, it means you have this experience. It's very rare in this material world that one might get this experience. It might be possible for some elevated brahmanas or for some citizens of heavenly planets. But on this earth, there are not so many people who experience the sattva guna. Thus, the Sankirtan movement is being distributed in Rajagun by engaging the masses of people into it with loud kirtanas. Otherwise, you can't control your mind, you can't have it captivated for a long time. If there is no some food for thought, then it's hard for a person because he has no education. From the early age, he was exposed to Rajagun, some sexual influence. These are the chains in the material world. It's widely spread, and the main and only way to rule the world nowadays. This is how people make their money and etc. etc. So if lust gets into your heart, you won't be able to think about the meaning of life. Your thoughts wouldn't be so elevated. So Sankirtan Yagya is the best way when we have this congregational chanting and using instruments, musical instruments, and happily chant this way, we would avoid apparatus. Those who do not dance during the kirtan would be a cripple in the next life. So be careful. Beware of it. We always have a chance to take part in some kind of kirtan. Of course, we cannot chant the holy name of Krishna without making an offense. It's impossible. Lord Chaitanya made it easy for us. He gave this possibility. Via parampara, we are getting Harinama Diksha. Not just initiation, but Harinama Diksha. Gayatri will be later. But the main thing is Harinama Diksha. We get the mood, this special mood from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The taste for kirtana. Also, the way we talk to each other influence greatly. If we have common goal, one is doing the kirtan, everyone else is joining. There's no need of any organization or management. No need to talk. You are senior devotees, you need to show an example, and they say, yes, we will join eventually. That's the question. You might lose the taste for chanting if you commit some apparatus. My Guru Maharaj said, if Kanishadhikari is offending Madhyamadhikari or Uttamadhikari, he would fall. But if Uttamadhikari offends Kanishadhikari, he would fall as well. So we need to stay away from rumors on this way of chanting of the holy names. Some gossips, just like right now, we just left Kazakhstan and there's riots and people are screaming and police is throwing these weapons onto them and they shut the internet down. The escalation of the situation. This is a forest fire. No one really wants to start this fire, but people are lacking in sattva gun, and they don't know how to live in this world, how to utilize the knowledge, how to live in peace with oneself and others, how to deal with the mind that is very painfully reacts to something. And this is something. It means Kali Yuga. In the ninth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that there is no such a place in the universe or thing in the universe that a pure devotee can renounce from. This is Vairagya. We renounce from bad things, and then we will have the taste for chanting. Just like one spiritual master during the GBC gathering said, we should not even have any bad thoughts in ourselves, in our minds about each other. Thus we will be able to chant non-stop. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying the taste we're looking for in the material world like we're searching for wealth and knowledge and cultural development or social changes, or we want to see some beauties in this world. Music and poetry, all this taste we will get from chanting the holy name, and we will get much more than that. There is no use to say you don't want to chant, blame it on yourself. No, no. Lord Chaitanya could inspire even the animals for chanting the holy names because your heart melts and you forget everything. Like Jesus Christ used to say, you forgive and you will be forgiven. You need to see carefully. You're, you're also an offender. So if you forgive, you will be forgiven. This is the rule of freedom. And Lord Chaitanya was not talking about it. He was just engaging everyone in chanting. And people would automatically forget about it. Our material side is not so good. The material world is not a good place for a soul to be. The body is situated more or less well. We need some values and stuff. But for the soul, it's no good. It will never be a spiritual world without a yagya. Brahma, Lord Brahma, in the beginning of the creation of the universe, he said, everything you want to get, you will get through yagya. Otherwise, it's impossible. There is ego, there are some bad qualities, and the body is a lusty animal. All you need is just you fight, you mate, you sleep, you eat. So, for the soul to be happy, you need this yagya. There are many different types of yagyas. And what we listen to right now, this topic, is yagya, because we sacrifice our mind, our senses. We are not thinking about enjoying the senses, the sense gratification. And Bhagavad Gita is also saying about it. You need to get this knowledge, this science. It should be given to you by the spiritual master. So you know how to live not for yourself. From time to time we hear it and we think it's a good formula, but no one is trying to apply it in their life. You just do it because it's your duty and you do not expect for any fruits. And then you get a lot of questions like, what is yagya? But you need to get this from Tattvadarshana, from the one who is engaged in this yagya, who knows the key to this happiness. And then this is a succession. There's no other way. If you live for yourself, then it's just karmic activity. All you get is karmic reactions against you. And you will never be protected from, neither from your next life, birth, nor from this one. And it will come by itself naturally. We are not putting some orders for miseries, but it comes naturally. Same thing with happiness. And a fool thinks there will be one day that there will be no miseries and just happiness. And he's carefully study the reasons for his miseries. And thousands of years People are doing it, but no one's free from it. And Sankirtan Yagya is putting us free immediately in order to spread the holy name and love for God. Srila Prabhupada said, we need to get some authorities. It should be an authorized way. What is the authorized way? We need to have the sincere intention to spread the holy names, and we need to keep on trying till we get some success. Sankirtan Yaga is so much different. Everyone is motivated differently. So many different moods. I remember me being on the opening of Panchatattva in Mayapur. All the spiritual masters gathered there. Indra Prabhu came from Vrindavan. It was the only time he left Vrindavan for the Panchatattva installation, and kirtans were going on and on and on, non-stop. This is what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought. You can't erase individuality. In this yagya, individuality becomes more vivid. That's what we want in this age of Kali, right? We want to stand out, but you can stand out in front of Krishna by chanting the holy name in a congregational chanting, kirtana. Other questions?
Харе Кришна. Спасибо большое за чудесный киртан и за эти знания, которыми вы так щедро делитесь. И вот вопрос такой. Шрила Прабхупада в одном из комментариев Srimad Bhagavatam говорит, что в пожилом возрасте преданные могут приехать во Вриндаван, и там очень сильно проявлена духовная энергия, и легче
may come to Vrindavana, where it's so much easier to practice, and you can leave your body there. Should we do that, or it's okay to stay in yatra, have good relationship with the devotees, and go back home, back to Godhead, being on one place? Yeah, some devotees do it. They go to Vrindavana when they feel then it's the time for them to leave. They consciously come to Vrindavan, and that's where they leave their bodies. Some don't think about it, they just rely on Krishna. So it varies. It's very nice to leave this world in Vrindavan, but the most important thing is the presence of devotees around you at that moment. Just by their presence, the thing is changing greatly. But sometimes devotees go away in hospitals and in reanimation. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, when you leave your body, we attain this realm of God. If we leave the body under certain conditions, there is and he is giving this description, but then he's saying, Arjun, the devotee should not think about it, should not worry about it. On this battlefield of Kurukshetra, you cannot apply it. Everyone is going to die. It might happen at any second. Yogis are living this way. They're choosing their way, their time of departure. Like just like Bhishmadev, and maybe he did it just to set the example, and he doesn't really need it because he's one of the Maharajas. But he was expecting not only for a better time to come, but he was expecting for Krishna. And then he left his body calmly, and they control such a personalities, they control the living air in them. And for us, we just rely on Krishna. I might pass away on the way to Vrindavan. One Mataji came to Mayapur to leave the body. She was brought, she was not walking even, so she was brought into the room. She was pretty old, and all her body, all her bones might be broken any moment. So this is how I met her, and I said, I offered her my obeisances, and so she stayed there, and in a year I came back to Mayapur, going to Ganges River, and someone was fast speeding, getting ahead of me. Some small lady. And then I saw that it was that old lady from last year, still alive. There are many different stories. There's a story when a devotee comes to Vrindavan with a single goal to leave the body, and that's what they do. We've seen many examples like that. There's always some new realization, and we've cremated many bodies of devotees of Jamuna. It's a long process under hot conditions, and you need to stay there for 4 hours, you know, to complete the process. And we will have to live some way, all of us. You want to do it in Vrindavan, right? Just pray to Krishna.
Гуру Махарадж, пожалуйста, подскажите, что с вашей точки зрения является хорошей садханой у ученика?
What is a good sadhana of a disciple for you? A good sadhana? Okay, I'll tell you. It's your work on your qualities. It's not only about early rise. We need to feel happiness. This is sadhana. It's not like, oh my, another morning. Sadhana is sadhana. I'll go against my will. If you put your efforts, it's not the best result that you can get. When you offer your obeisances, it should go from your heart. You need to learn how to do it. And among thousands of obeisances, just one might be a good one. I've done some bendings when I was just beginning. It was against my false ego to do the obeisances. So I did some bendings, and Krishna accepted. Can you imagine? Now I understand more what is obeisance. Obeisances means love expression, huge love. It says in Shastra, offer your obeisances. Of course, it's good if you do it formally, but there's something great to it. And this is sadhana. This is the improvement of your japa. Every time you chant your japa, you want to improve it. Let's do it from the other side. The devotees captivated the microphone. Keep it. I was wondering if you could help me to understand the Srimad Bhagavatam verses better. When Maharaj Prithu was leaving his body, and he was saying, if one is doing his duties according to the acharyas of the past words, he's getting the highest level of development. But if he gets under cover of material energy, then it will be wasted. Why is it? Bahunam janmanamante. This is about it. Krishna is saying, after many and many births and death, you reach the Brahman, and then it might happen many, many times until he becomes a devotee. If he falls, just like Maharaj Bharat did, you keep your memory. You don't lose anything. Just continue in your next life. But usually, if you just follow the regulations and rules and you just follow these prescriptions, you might follow it. You might get into illusion again. That's the benefit of Krishna consciousness. Try to understand what is Krishna consciousness. It's not just some sort of spiritual practice or religious practice. No. This is the relationship with Krishna himself directly. It's a mystery and hidden knowledge. It is not being revealed to you until you're clean. It might not be open to you till even when you reach the Brahman state. You have no relationship, so you fall from Brahman. So we are getting this relationship, and starting from the neutral, and then service, dasya rasa. They tell you, if you act in dasya rasa, dasa and dasa, that's the safe position. You will never fall in this. You need to earn your right to serve the Lord. You need so many lifetimes. And Lord Chaitanya immediately gives you dasa, dasa, anudasa. This is the power of devotional service, the most powerful spiritual practice. While we are serving to Krishna, we will never fall. Just to continue the topic of Yukta Vairagya, Sukham Kartamavyayam, Any activity brings you happiness on this path. But from my personal experience, if it's not connected with the chanting of the holy name, you take the responsibility, but you don't really feel it. I would be happily, Prabhupada was saying, I would be happily translating books, but I need to do management. What does it mean? Am I doing it just externally? Should we always feel this satisfaction? Or it can be sometimes as austerity, something we can engage in devotional service and it brings us happiness. Other things we can't, not like Prabhupada. Prabhupada could engage anything in any condition, under any condition. This is Yukta Vairagya, the highest example. But not all of us are that powerful, so we need to be careful of Maya. The energy we cannot utilize in devotional service, it might push us. So we need to be careful. Lord Chaitanya was not only chanting, of course. He was also associated with the devotees. And you need to read Caitanya Charitamrita so you could understand how he was, what was his association with the devotees. He was inspiring everyone. He was treating everyone just like one would treat a treasure. So he was not only addressing the holy name, but the devotees around him. This is Yukta Vairagya. Usually Vairagya is when you don't talk to anyone and you close in your, it's like you're being a monk. But Lord Chaitanya was very communicative. Big festivals, he was surrounded by many devotees. He knew how to associate with them. It's not that you need to do a lot of this association, but still, like when the citizens of Vrindavana were meeting the Yadu dynasty, and their hair stood on the ends when they saw each other. This is how devotees associate. No competition, no envy, just happiness.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Вот в лекции слышал, что вы говорили, что вот у каждого преданного должна быть как бы
Once you were saying on your lecture that every devotee has to have a strategy how he could dedicate himself to Krishna. And then one should have some tactics. Could you explain that? Yeah, it's like to have a responsibility. You look deep into your heart and you're saying, I'm not a devotee so far, but I'm trying. Like I was initiated already. I gave my vows and so what should I do now? Guru wants me to go back home to Krishna. How am I satisfy Krishna? What should I do for him? What would I like to do for him? I need to think over these things. My life is my plane and piloting this plane. There's no one else who can do it for me. So it's my time to think of how am I piloting this plane. I can become a brahmachari. I can try to be a brahmachari for the next 5 years, let's say. Oh, I have a taste for it. I will stay brahmachari. I will accept it. This way I don't bother anyone. But someone might say, I've spent like 5 years in the ashrama, but I understood I have some problems in mind and I don't feel some emotional support. I'm not satisfied. I have some negative thoughts. I need to find my ashrama in order not to fall in this illusion of unhappiness. And this way one marries. He needs to find a good partner, not formal. He needs to carefully find his partner and then bring up children in Krishna consciousness. There should be some strategy. You develop the sense of care. This is how you dedicate your life to Krishna. It's a strategy. And if you accepted this ashram, then you need to make plans. How do you renounce? Will you accept sannyas, exterior sannyas, or you will develop inside of you the sannyas? If your wife will prevent you from doing devotional service, you might need to take sannyas in the end of life. If she's not a problem, then you can stay in your family, and this is your renunciation. So you need to carefully watch the development of your life. You just mentioned finding a partner. If in the end of life your wife is not helping you, but not preventing you from it, but at the same time she's not helping you. You said in the end of life, you think you're close to it, right? Oh, I'm just making this strategy. Oh, okay. If she's not preventing you from Krishna consciousness in the end of your life, that's what you say. It might happen that relationship, when you're old and your children are grown, you still have this attachment. This is a big problem. If your marriage is spiritual, there is no difference. On any stage, it's good for Krishna consciousness. You just serve together to Krishna. But if you stay together because you attach to each other, that's another story. There could be an obstacle. There are many of us who are leaders and representatives of the boards of Yatra. What should we remember to pass to future generations so the ISKCON and Yatras to flourish? It should be a succession. It's important. We're living in a country of revolutions, and succession has been lost. People were noticing that because of the revolution, we lost the succession. When one president been pushed away and another president sat on a place, and this is very painful. This is not a succession. It's some extreme measures, painful measures, not spiritual. The demons are being pushed down by force. But devotees are not like this. So everyone should stay doing his service till he finds the one who would inherit his service. Don't hold your power. If you're gonna take care of new generations like this, the most important thing is that you're being attached to the holy name. Then renunciation is possible. Renunciation is just about chanting the holy name. Let's go to the other side. When I got to this Krishna conscious society, I felt I came to my own family, and it's like I've been hungry ever since, and I eagerly go to any congregation, and all the leaders are just like ideal for me. And now I don't know how to choose a Diksha guru, spiritual master. I have two candidates in my heart. And what is the difference if whether he is sannyasi or grihastha? Grihastha ashram is lower than sannyasa ashram. It is called fallen guru. I don't feel it like the way. This is what I feel. How do I make my choice though? You pick up your coin, and then one side you put grihastha and sannyasa, and you flip it. Just choose with your heart. It's not that extreme. You might have only one Diksha Guru, but you might have many Shiksha Gurus. You're not losing anything. Is it? It's very important, yes, to choose your Diksha Guru, because you follow the instructions. If you listen to a spiritual master and you feel like you can do it differently, then it's your spiritual master. This is the answer in your heart. And like my Guru Maharaj once said, after prasadam, you need to wash your mouth twice. Since that time, I do it twice. Every time I approach the sink, I remember I need to do it twice. I can do it the other way. This is my Guru Maharaj. This is how I accepted his instructions, and I'm fine. So choose with your heart.
Харе Кришна, примите, пожалуйста, мои поклоны здесь. Спасибо за возможность задать вопрос. Можно вот в тему стратегии жизни, да? А как все-таки
It's a question about strategy of life. How is it better
да, природу человека, или
to
все-таки
choose
исходно
my
же, ну,
husband?
сознание Кришны совершенно
Do I
другое.
need to
И все равно же природа проявляется,
take the
проявляется
nature
та, которая
into
есть. Да, и
consideration?
будет ли она потом мешать, если разная природа?
Will it be an obstacle
Легче всего
if we
запомнить.
are in different natures? It's better to sniff him.
Варну пока определишься, старишься вообще.
It's hard to distinguish the Varna.
Вот так посмотрите, все кшатри, браманы, смотрите.
Look,
Как кажется, просто
all of them are kshatriyas and brahmanas,
обычно
but
по
it's
запаху и все.
false. Just sniff the air.
Я вот тут могу только пошутить. Я к этому так серьезно не
I can
отношусь.
make only
Варну
jokes
сложно.
about it.
Кали сложно.
In the age of
Халал,
Kali,
шудра, самбава. ведь
Kalal
Кали
Shudra
всё настолько
Sambhava,
смешано, запутано.
everything is
Человек,
mixed.
природа неясная.
You can't really
В человеке смешанный
make
ум,
sure he's
нет этих
of
династий,
certain
традиций,
nature.
воспитания уже,
The
изначального
gunas are all
рождения, то есть
mixed.
хорошего, чистого.
There is
Самскары
no
не
good birth,
проводятся для людей.
no samskars,
Поэтому очень трудно варну
so
чистую.
it's really hard to find out the Varna for sure.
Поэтому, ну как, век Кали провозглашается
So,
эко-варна.
in the age of Kali,
Вайшнава все.
Echo Varna is proclaimed.
Бесклассовое общество.
Everyone is Vaishnava. No classes.
С другой стороны,
From the other
конечно,
side,
есть
of course,
иногда гуна-карма очень разная.
there is a guna karma, and it may vary.
Интеллектуально, допустим, должны как-то лучше
Intellectual
понимали друг друга. Видишь?
culture,
Это
so
простая
people
вещь.
could understand each other,
Несложная вещь.
but it's pretty easy.
Как я понимаю, браки
As I understand,
на духовной
the
основе
marriages
самые
on the
лучшие.
spiritual ground is the
Хотя не так
best,
часто это происходит,
are the
к
best,
сожалению.
even though it's not
Не так
often
часто, ну, преданные знают, как это сделать.
that we see it, but devotees know how
И
to make
также
it.
у многих есть много страстности еще.
And then
Духовный брак,
many of
они
us
не могут духовный
are
брак
very
даже сознавать, что это хорошо. У них страсть сильная очень.
passionately
Им нужен объект страсти тоже.
doing it.
Найти, получить.
They have a lot of passion and they need this object of passion.
Это сложная судьба.
It's a
Это
difficult destiny, but
Если у
what are
вас
you
много
gonna do?
страсти, вы должны пройти таким путем.
If you have a lot of passion, you need to walk this way.
Но если вы способны уравновесить свою страсть,
But
духовный брак
if you're
достаточно. Все будет хорошо.
balancing and you're capable of balancing your passion, then spiritual marriage is the best.
Кто-то мечтает о любимой женщине.
Some hope for a loving wife,
Вот не встретил любовь.
a
Тоже
loving
хочется
woman.
любовь
You're
в жизни.
willing to meet the love in your life.
Ну, встретите в любовь. Что дальше?
Okay, that's you married,
Одна пара ко мне
and
подошла
what's
как-то
next?
давно. Говорит, мы вот у нас второй брак.
One couple
Вот
came up
я, говорит, замужем, а он женат.
to see me and they said
Такая
this,
любовь сильная, мы не смогли ничего.
our marriage is like we have a second marriage.
Мы ничего с этим не смогли сделать.
We were
Как в кино было все.
already married, but we met each
И нас
other.
даже
We
близко
couldn't
поняли, да, у нас
handle it. We couldn't
такая любовь.
stop
А
ourselves
сейчас
from
что? Сейчас хотим разводиться.
joining, and
Но не обязательно так.
now
В
we
любом
want to
случае, любые
divorce.
отношения материально не охладевают.
You need to understand any
Папа тоже
relationship,
хотел
material
жениться на другой
relationship,
женщине. Ему нравилась девушка. Отец сказал,
will be
послушай, что скажу тебе. Гороскоп. твой.
colder and colder with the
Сейчас
time.
меняется.
Srila Prabhupada
В
also
каком
wanted
возрасте
to
ты
marry
женишься?
another girl,
Если ты
and
сейчас
his father
женишься,
said, if
то
you're gonna
будет
marry
трудно отречься
the
будет.
girl you like,
А вот это тебе не очень нравится, верно? Тебе
then
легко быть принцем, нет?
it won't be hard to follow your
И
path,
Прабхупада
your
так и сделал.
destiny, because you are going to be a
Не
sannyasi.
сожалел об этом. Это духовный уровень.
And Prabhupada
Не
did
всем
it
дано такую силу
as
иметь
his father
духовную,
said.
достаточную, да? И решимость служить
But
преданно Всевышнему.
not all of us
Страсти
are like
много.
this. We have a
Страсть
lot of
была проникла в
passion,
сердце с 5
and
лет уже
if the
возраста.
passion
В
is
5-6 лет, представь.
getting into your heart, it's very
Это
hard. Like
испорченное зерно, знаете.
when you're 5 years old and you have
М.
lust in your heart, you're like a spoiled grain. But we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, and we might see so many different situations. The marriage. Of course, we're saying to people that spiritual marriage and all these things, but people are not following. They don't have the power to go through it in their life, but they're being captivated by mantra. So they chant and they expect for this partner to come. But with the years, I understand it's not that important. The main thing is that you chant your holy name. How many times you getting married is not that important. Of course, it happens. It might happen. What do you do? Krishna is saying, if you're a sinner of all sinners, if you get on the ship of transcendental knowledge, you will cross this ocean of material suffering. Anyone who is addressing to me by the mercy of Krishna will succeed. These are our hopes. It's not that important if you are standing big in this management of Krishna society. Just avoid the big sins and just try to tolerate whatever you feel. And when you're getting older, it's easier. I'm getting older, and thanks God. I have some other issues, of course, because old age is not getting you closer to Lord. You need to know how to be in that age that you are. So everything is getting worse and worse. You don't have happiness, right? Okay, maybe last question. Please accept my obeisances. Yeah, Guru Maharaj, this morning you said if you don't follow etiquette, you will not succeed. What is the difference between mundane etiquette and spiritual etiquette? Mundane etiquette is all about exterior things. We can use some soft words and intonation. We follow it externally. This is mundane, like social thing. But devotees should not have duplicacy. Vaishnava etiquette is very soft and kind. You need to, but it is very honest when someone is saying it. You should not think that when someone is saying a truth to you in a kind way, you should not think it's offensive. When you deal with the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they tell you only truth. One program in Mayapur, I remember, there were several disciples of Prabhupada, and I came as well, and I paid no attention to one disciple. This way, the garland was not offered according to the etiquette, and one was there without a garland, and one disciple of Srila Prabhupada he came up to me immediately and explained it. He like poked me. I didn't even notice it. He instructed me, and my heart melted. He's telling the truth, but he's not bothering you. And I just offer my obeisances to these mentors. These are Vaishnava etiquette. It's not like you see the bad sides and you silent. Of course, if you feel angry at this moment, you need to keep silence. You might give a lecture or class or find a way. It's not good that you always showing the points on every step to everyone. You need to learn how to be a friend, be a mentor. It's a big science in Krishna consciousness. Madhyama Adhikari he knows how to do it. He's with his one leg and one foot in the spiritual world, and they know how to be friends. Just like he said, it's not about you. It's not about you. But he was saying it so, he was so kind that I immediately understood that there's a problem with me. And then he noticed that I did something wrong. He put his arm on my shoulder. And I felt that, yes, this is about me. So he was very kind. It's about kindness. And at that moment, I was talking about Ramachandra Prabhu. He was not a sannyasi yet. And he left the harmonium for me. Because that room had no harmonium. And he was living, when his class was finished, he said, I will leave you harmonium. I see you don't have one. He said, yes, no problem. The disciples will take the harmonium back to your room. So that's what they did. And next time I came to this room and there's no harmonium, I thought that Purnacharna Prabhu would be there and his harmonium. But none was there. And I thought, well, no problem. But I had this samskara. Even in this case, he was not obligated. Next morning, 5 in the morning, I had some knocking in the door, and I was ready to go to Arati. Someone knocked in my door. I opened it. No one there. But then I looked down, there's Purnacharna Prabhu. He's offering his obeisances. He said, I'm sorry, Prabhu, yesterday I didn't leave a harmonium for you. I understand that you might think something, but then he explained, he got into the details, why he didn't do it. These are the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. He could feel your thoughts on a distance. This is Vaishnava etiquette. Very delicate, very sensitive. Who can live life like that without troubling anyone? This is Vaishnava. And he's only taking risk when he's on a mission and preaching. But he is acting as a lamb at home. To become, in order to become Vaishnava or get this title, You need to work hard and you need some time. We are all candidates to Vaishnava, but this is a high rank. And those who are getting initiation, they are almost Vaishnavas, Vaishnava Abbas. They're almost Vaishnavas. You can address them as one. You can express your gratitude and appreciation because he's working on his character. It's like jewelry. He doesn't remember any evil. Okay, we'll stop here. Prabhupada ki jai.
Все хорошо, удобно, слышно всем.